Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we are building the Blokees Soundwave Action Edition. So as you all know, I really love Transformers, and Blokees seems to have some of the best Transformers out there. And their models are excellent. Now the last one I did, the Megatron one, I wasn't that happy with it though, because it was kind of difficult to build. But this one, they made it a lot better, so it's not as difficult. Although the fingers are still very difficult to bend. I mean, you'll see it later on here. And I hope my commentary has improved a bit here. There's not as much delay this time. I think I figured out what I did wrong before. So I won't be speaking so slowly as much. But I do enjoy speaking slowly though. Nice, cool, calming voice. So this Soundwave character, I happen to love this character growing up. And when I saw that it was available, I had to grab it and build it. And as usual, the Blokees stuff is just exceptional. Really great stuff here. And the result looked great. Now with this model, I actually took some time to kind of scrape out some of the nubs to make it look really nice and smooth and clean, so it doesn't look like it was just taken out of the runner. And this model kit comes with 4 different characters here, the cassettes, like in the original Transformers. So that was a nice touch for them. I mean, they can't transform into a cassette, but it was still nice to have. I mean, you've got the Laserbeak, Ravage, Ratbat, and Rumble. And for me, as I was building this, those 4 characters were actually a bit more difficult to assemble than the actual Soundwave character, surprisingly. Yeah, I had a hard time building some of these smaller models. Rumble wasn't too bad. It was like Ravage, Ratbat, and Laserbeak. You'll see later on what I mean. As you can see from my build here, it's pretty simple. Not as difficult to build the head as the Megatron one. Yeah, that head on Megatron was really tough to assemble. And I've seen images online of people who built Megatron, and it looks like they had the same issues that I had. Because you can see there were gaps on the head of Megatron where people couldn't like assemble them together to make it flush. I mean, I had to really push it down and push them all together to get it to work. Could have broken it. Not as much forceful assembly with this model. Pretty simple and straightforward. Except with the fingers, of course. It's a really nice design, and it truly represents Soundwave. And that chest piece where you could put the cassettes in there. I mean, there's a model cassette that you could put into his chest. It's like a cassette tape of Laserbeak. Now, in case you didn't know, the Soundwave himself comes with about different sound effects. It's like once you place the magnet to his chest, the eyes will light up, and then you do it again the second time, he'll say something, and then the third time, and the fourth time, and then the fifth time it turns off the lights. And I'll demonstrate that later on at the end of the build. I mean, the sound effect that it makes, it's almost incoherent because it sounds so techy and wavy that you can't really hear very well what he's saying. But then again, in the cartoon, he does make that sound, that noise, that you can't always understand what he's saying. It's a technical synthetic kind of sound, like a synthesizer. Now this part could have gotten confusing. I had to really look at the manual to make sure which way it's supposed to go. As you can see, that cutout part is on the other side there. Yeah, once you place them in the wrong side, it'll be difficult to remove it. So make sure you get it right the first time here. And I also wanted to mention that he actually has pretty good articulation. It's probably not as good as the other Action Edition, but pretty much it's similar. I think what a lot of the lack of articulation is the knee, because his kneecap is so huge. Can't really do some of the action poses that you could do with the other ones. And also he has those shoulder pads that you could actually slide in and out. And also that blaster on the top of his shoulder, that also kind of gets in the way. But you could always remove it and put it in his back. Yeah, there's a lot of little details. That's what I love about these Blokees models for Transformers. They put in a lot of details. Kind of like that cassette tape inside, or cassette tape player. And you'll see later that the cassette doors actually open and closes, and it works pretty well for something this simple. Yeah, make sure you hear that snap sound, because at first I thought it was already in, but then I decided to push it in a little bit further and it actually snapped in Here, this is like a simple mechanism to open and close the cassette door. Works pretty well. No springs needed or anything like that. Yeah, I was kind of confused where this was supposed to go. But I figured out eventually. So I've noticed with my videos that a lot of my most viewed videos are the ones with the unboxing and the 4x speed build. So these full builds don't get as many views, but yet I spend the most time with this since I have to do the commentary. And I know there aren't many of you who will watch this, but I'm doing this for the people who want to build along with me. So even though I don't get too many views for these full builds, I will continue to do them just for you guys who actually want to see the whole build or who wants to build along with me. And I can commentate, so this way you know what to do and what to look out for. Yeah, honestly, I didn't know how this was supposed to go in. I just popped it in there and it works. Didn't really look at the manual for this one. And that clear plastic is actually pretty durable. And it's got a nice design on it. And Here you have to place it from the bottom. Yeah, I think I would have broken it if I didn't notice that. Place it from the bottom. And it snaps in. Yeah, so you can close the doors and open it by pressing that white button. Very simple mechanism. Yeah, I had to do it a couple of times just to see how it works. Now this part was a little tricky. I didn't know where or how to place them. Spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. So I edited most of it out and showed you the final results. Yeah, you should have seen the other ones that I edited out. It was totally wrong. And that part is where you put the legs, the thighs in there, and it can move up and down. And I didn't realize that till after finishing the build and taking my pictures. That's why in the images you'll see he looks a little tilted, and that's because I think one side was lower, the other side was higher. That's why it kind of looks like he's tilting to one side. Yeah, and that wobbly part at the top, I thought there was something wrong with it. I didn't know what was wrong with it, but it's perfectly fine. It's supposed to be that way. This is the skirt for the back. One thing that I wanted to mention is that this one didn't come with any stickers, so it was actually pretty good because everything was already painted or assembled in a way that you don't need stickers. And I'm not sure if Megatron even come with stickers either. I know Optimus Action Edition came with some stickers that I didn't bother to apply because it looked better without it. This piece here, I almost broke it because I was putting them in the wrong direction. and I kept forcing it in, almost breaking it. And you'll see later. Right now, there's an R there and an R on the white part. It's hard to see. So the R is supposed to go together. And here I'm pushing it in there, even though it's not going in, and I almost break it. And you'll see the damage in the back there, a little bit of damage. So make sure the arrow part, the sharp part, goes outward and the skirt's pointing downward. There's an L and an L. And the sharp parts goes outward. Oh, more like downwards, I guess. No? Oh, inward. Oh. Yeah, I got confused here. It's on the opposite way. Here you go. See, outward. I had it right before. Now, even though that top part kind of seesaw back and forth, I didn't see it making any difference once I placed the upper body on top of it. Really not sure why it had to do that. I mean, I guess they just wanted a little bit more articulation. And here, make sure the that circular, half circular piece is on the back and not the front. Yeah, that could also be why when I took the pictures, it looks a little bit like it's leaning to one side or the other. Probably because of that seesawing on the waist. Possibly. And those dreaded fingers. And I'll be doing most of that off camera with the fingers, trying to make sure every single joint of those fingers bend. It's a bit time consuming, so I didn't bother to put in the video. Just cut that all out. Yeah, took me some time to figure this out. Got it the wrong way. Nope, that's not right. Seems obvious, but I didn't quite get it. Oh, still didn't get it. I'm a little slow on these things. There you go. And with some of these pieces, I didn't really look at the manual. Sometimes the manual don't really help all that much. The visuals aren't always clear, so I have to use my best judgment. I guess when you build enough of these, you kind of know how it's supposed to be assembled. I've been doing this for a year now, I guess. I've built enough models to know, kinda. Sometimes it still gets me. Yeah, when you build more and more of these models, you begin to understand how it works, how they design it, and how it should be assembled. Like there are certain pieces, the moment I see it, I know exactly how it's supposed to be assembled. Even though I've never assembled that piece before, but I've assembled something similar. Yeah, like this stuff here. See, that goes into that channel that moves up and down, so I immediately know to place it there. Anytime you see a channel like that, you know something has to go in there. Making sure everything bends. And you could also pull it up, push it down along the channel. And with these, I didn't really look at the manual all that much. I assembled these before with the Megatron one. It's very similar. I kind of knew how it was supposed to be placed. Now this red part, I didn't even know which way it was supposed to go in. I didn't realize that there were channels underneath it. The teeth that's supposed to line up. I just happened to put it in and it went right in. But the other arm didn't work out as well because the teeth didn't line up. These two pieces here, they don't line up very well. I spent some time trying to get them to line up. I was eventually successful at it, but it took a lot of time. Had to edit some of that out. Or maybe I didn't edit them out. And that piece was kind of tricky. I didn't know how I was supposed to place them in there, but finally got them. Now it comes with two pieces here for the side of the arm. One has a hole in it, so you can place things in it, but I don't usually like to place things on the arm anyway, so I just went with the other one, the one that has a closed one. Yeah, I prefer having it closed than having a hole there for Laserbeak to sit on. Okay, here's the dreaded fingers. I actually did these off camera. I bent them to make sure that they could actually move. But then I'm showing you again here on camera how it's supposed to be bent and how it's supposed to move. Now I didn't know the thumb could actually move, because on the Megatron one, I didn't move the thumb at all. So I just wanted to show you how I did it. See, I just had my fingernails on there and pressed down. After doing this multiple times, my fingers were kind of numb. My fingernails was starting to hurt a bit. So after I finished this hand, I cut my nails, which you'll see later. So yeah, most of these fingers have already been bent off camera. And for some reason I'm always placing them the wrong way. I always think this part is the top of the hand, but it's actually the palm. And this part is the top of the hand. So it should have gone the opposite way. The fingers should have been bending the opposite way. But for some reason I keep confusing these. And I did it with the other hand too. Even though I figured out that it's not supposed to be that way. I did the same thing with the Megatron hand, so I should have known better. But I guess my memory's not so good. Yeah, just be careful. You have to place those fingers from that other side from that side with the holes here, from this side, not the other side. Because I think you might actually damage it if you try to force it in the other way. So here, I figured it out, and I'm twisting the fingers around to the correct position. See, that's the inside palm. And that's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, some of those little fingers at the end are kind of tough to maneuver and adjust. You can see the shoulder part can slide back and forth. And this is the left arm and hand. Okay, now we're doing the right arm and hand. And it's pretty much the same as the other one. Yeah, when you see me switch pieces like that, I'm just trying to go by the manual, what it's supposed to look like in the manual. So this way you can follow along with me and also look at the manual, so you don't get confused which piece is which. I try my best to help you guys out in case you're building along with me. Though sometimes I couldn't really follow the manual too well because I'm right-handed, so sometimes they want you to place things with your left hand, but kind of like this. Sometimes my left isn't very strong, so I just switch to my right. And as you can see, I've already cut my nails when I started the second arm here, the right arm. My fingers were still a little stingy, especially my thumb from trying to bend those fingers. But I guess from doing all that work assembling these models, my thumb has gotten a lot stronger. It's a bit more callous. Yeah, when I first started building, my fingertips were very sensitive. The more you build these, the more you have to like squeeze little pieces together. Your fingertips just gets a bit stronger. The skin's a bit thicker. And here you can see the teeth. You have to match up the teeth. Yeah, I edit most of that stuff out where I didn't quite fit it in. And once again, it doesn't line up too well. See, I edit most of that out. Spend a long time trying to line it up. A bit of a perfectionist, as you can tell. And it really does bother me when things don't line up, or when there's little nubs sticking out. So I had to cut it down a bit with a knife. I'd like to be able to sand it down, but yeah, a little too afraid to use the sandpaper on these models. You can damage the model if you sand it too roughly or too much. But then after sanding it down, you do have to buffer it, kind of make it all nice and shiny again, which is pretty time consuming. That's why I just use my knife and then use my fingernails. And once again, I placed it the wrong way, backwards, just like the other one. I didn't quite learn. Yeah, I'm a little slow. As you can see here, I gotta twist it the other way again. Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. Just like the other one. Takes me a while to figure that out. Yeah, once I place this piece in there, then that's what I know that I've gotten the wrong position with the fingers. It has to be facing the other way. Boy, that looks bad. Even though I just finished one, still don't know which way it's supposed to go. I mean, granted, after I finished that other one, I cut my fingernails. I actually took a day or two off from building this, then came back later, so I guess that's a good excuse. When you watch these videos, I don't do them all in one day. Well, some of them I do, but for something this big, with these many pieces, I usually take more than a couple of days or even weeks to finish. Done with the right arm and hand. Now on to the legs. the Blokees fashion, the legs are always a bit chunky, which I don't mind as much, especially the Optimus Prime one. The Megatron one, it looks a little bit too big though, and for this Soundwave one, I don't really mind, because in the original cartoon and toy line, he does have kind of a chunky legs with big knees sticking out, and that part's supposed to bend over on the sides as he transforms. And it's supposed to look a bit boxy. Oh, this part, I got confused before with the Megatron one, but this one, I pretty much got it. Yeah, like I said, once you built one, you pretty much know how it's supposed to go together. I knew that was supposed to go there. You have to hold that in place. It doesn't attach until you put in that blue piece. I know it looks purplish on this camera here, but it's actually blue. I guess it's the lighting that I have on. Kind of looks purple. So at first I couldn't figure it out what this piece was, or where it came from. When I saw the manual, it took me a while to figure that out, that it came from the bag. I didn't have to assemble it. It came pre-assembled, which I'm not sure why, because I remember having to assemble this before on the Megatron one. Maybe it was too complicated and people kept messing it up. Now they just build it for you and put it in the bag. I mean, it was kind of complicated because you have to place it just right. And you have to have the correct piece to go with it. Well, that part's supposed to bend, but I didn't want to overdo it and end up breaking it. See, that's supposed to bend. You'll see on the other leg, I actually bent it, so it's bendable. I was just too afraid to bend it and break it. Yeah, this one took me some time to figure it out. Just make sure the notches match when it goes in, like so. Yeah, and this piece here didn't quite go flush. I mean, I took it apart and looked at it and put it back together again, but it still wouldn't go in flush. Eventually I just gave up on it and continued on. But then once I assembled everything, it looks fine. I guess it's supposed to be that way. Yeah, that switch doesn't do anything. It's just for show. Kind of like in the original Soundwave toy. It has that switch to turn on and off. That's what a cassette player used to look like back in the old days. And you have a switch to turn it on and off. And a volume dial, which you'll see me mess up on. See, once you place everything, that piece that wasn't flush, it doesn't really matter. And even in the manual, it looks like it wasn't supposed to be flush anyway. I mean, when I looked at the manual, it still didn't look like it was flush. And for this one, make sure the lines are on the top part. There's like that line a quarter of the way through. And at first I thought this was a weird piece. Came out of nowhere. Then you're supposed to put it in the leg. I didn't realize that. Didn't even see it as I was building it. It just locks right in. Well, not quite. Gotta do it just right. Yeah, you have to really force it in there, but it goes in. As long as the thicker part is on the top and the thinner part is on the bottom, it should fit. And I love all these little pieces. Bring some color to it. I do notice that Blokees uses the same color scheme, so that red is the same red as in Optimus Prime and in Megatron, and the yellow same as in Optimus Prime. So they pretty much just have their main colors that they use over and over again. And of course the blue, very similar to the blue in Optimus Prime. And of course the only weird colors of this whole thing is the Ratbat and Rumble. Those are the colors that you don't usually see with the Action Edition. But then again, we only have about 3 or 4 Action Edition now from Blokees. As I'm recording this, is the Optimus, the Transformers 1 Optimus Pax, or whatever he's called. Where's that? Prima Pax? Or Orion? Yeah, oh, maybe Orion Pax? Yeah. I don't remember. And now we're doing the left leg. Yeah, it was the Orion Pax. I think. But I hope they do more of these Action Edition. More the G1 Action Edition. I don't care for the newer stuff, the Transformers 1. I want them to do Starscream and Shockwave. Starscream would be really, really cool. He's been very popular. And also Shockwave. You can let me know what characters you would like in the Action Edition for Blokees to build or be made available. Let me know in the comments if you want to chime in. I'd vote for Starscream and Shockwave. and maybe even Galvatron. We haven't had a really good looking Galvatron, even though I love that character in the cartoon, in the movie, in the series. I think Galvatron was kind of an interesting character. Granted, he was kind of crazy. I mean, at first he wasn't crazy, but once he got damaged, then yeah, he turned crazy. But before he turned crazy, he was actually a pretty cool character, along with Cyclonus and Scourge. They were both pretty cool. But I'm guessing they're probably gonna do Bumblebee next. I can betcha. The next Action Edition will probably be Bumblebee. Either that or another Megatron from Transformers 1, which I don't really care for. I mean, still pretty nice design, but like I said, I prefer the G1 version. Here, as you can see, I'm bending it, so it's bendable. The other one, I didn't bend it, so I thought I might break it. Yeah, my fingers were starting to hurt a little bit here. Been using my thumb to squeeze things together way too much. And I've been thinking about getting all those little Defender series so I can build the Constructicons. So I really like the Devastator. Okay, so this wheel here, it was kind of a pain because I placed it incorrectly. So this is how I thought it was supposed to go, but that's not how it's supposed to go. Yeah, not quite, as you'll see later. So don't do that as you're building. You probably actually don't need it at the moment as you're building, because later on I was able to fix it without taking everything apart. And once again, this piece here, it doesn't go in flush. It's kind of hang out a little bit. I guess that's the way it's supposed to be built. As you can see, I just try to place that in there. Didn't make any sense. I kind of moved on for a little while, but eventually had to go back in and fix it. I was like, wait a minute, how is this supposed to work? Oh wait, the dial's supposed to go in there. Took me a while. There you go. That's how you do it. Now the only thing you gotta be careful is that one side is a little bit thicker and the other side's a little bit thinner. You have to make sure it's on the right side. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's what I kind of see. And when you move the dial, there should be some resistance. And it kind of makes a little noise. See? Sort of like a mouse wheel. Oh, and another character that I would like to see as an action edition is one of the Dinobots. Maybe Grimlock. That would be cool. Everybody loves Grimlock. I think that would be a very popular piece. Yeah. Do that, Blokees. Or Blokees. I'm not sure how to pronounce their name. But yeah, Grimlock. That would be awesome. Grimlock and Shockwave. And Galvatron. And maybe Bumblebee. But if they do Bumblebee, he would have to be kind of small. Smaller than your usual action edition. Because technically Bumble's pretty small. He's probably half the size of Optimus Prime. Or a little bit taller than that. A little bit taller than half. But yeah, he would be pretty small. And also Starscream, of course. Can't forget him. I don't know why they don't choose to do some of the most popular ones. Instead, they do the Transformers one. Transformers 1 movie version. I mean, if you want to sell a lot of these, then you really need to come out with the popular characters. Like Starscream and Grimlock. I mean, if you haven't seen my video on the Starscream build for Blokees, that's been one of my most popular videos. So apparently people love Starscream. It was the Golden Lagoon edition though. But yeah, they need to Starscream with a crown and a cape. His coronation. Yeah, that lasted for like a minute or even less than a minute. The moment he was crowned. That was kind of funny. Okay, and we are done. Well, for Soundwave, we still have more to go. Still have his weapons and the little 3-4 characters. Yeah, the hip was actually slanted, so that's why when I took pictures, he looks like he's leaning one side. I guess I forgot about that. As you can see here, you can lean it left and right. Checking to see if it actually went in. Just want to make sure it actually goes in flush. That's as far as it can go. I don't want to break it. As you can see, he's leaning to one side at the hip. Yeah, almost makes me wanna reshoot the photos because it looks kind of weird that he's leaning to one side. we've got another hour to go here. So as you can see, it only took like an hour and a half to build Soundwave, but it took another hour to build the weapons and the 4 little characters with the Ravage, Laserbeak, Ratbat, and Rumble. And that's probably because I struggled a bit, as you'll see later. And these are kind of small, so they're hard to I couldn't really tell in the manual how it's supposed to fit. I pretty much went by instinct. And these are the rocket launchers. Honestly, when I was a child watching this, I didn't realize that was a rocket launcher. I thought it was something similar to what Perception had, which was like a microscope, but this was more like a sort of like a device to see ahead or something, or to pick up some sort of anomaly, whatnot. So I didn't realize it was a rocket. I don't think he ever used it in the movies or TV shows. You never seen Soundwave shooting anything out of his rocket launcher there. Yeah, I couldn't figure out at first. Until I remembered you can slide it. And it actually swivels up and down and left and right. I didn't realize that until later. See, I was trying to do left and right, and I thought it might break, so I didn't try to do it, but you actually can. move it left and right. I'm a bit more careful with the pieces nowadays since I've broken a few. So anytime it resists, there's some resistance, I try not to go past that. I mean, I was lucky with the Optimus Prime one. I don't think I broke anything except maybe for the glass on the inside of the windshield there on his chest, but it was on the inside, so you can't really tell. You can't see it. Just like a little hairpin crack in the glass on the corner. And of course on the Megatron one, I don't remember breaking anything. I came close to breaking it. Well, no, wait, it's that head part that was kind of bent a little bit, but it didn't break. Megatron's head, there was like a little white part there where you can take the top of his head off and put it back in again. That part was starting to get a little weak. You can see the white part where it's starting to wear out and bend. But this Soundwave one, I didn't break anything, so that's good. Well, except for that. Wait, now I just remembered that part with the skirt. Yeah, I kind of jammed it in there and almost broke it, but you could only see the damage on the inside, not the outside. This piece, they should have built it the same way that they did with the Megatron gun, where it kind of retracts itself. And I wanted that beam to, that middle part to retract and extend by itself somehow. Because you have to actually pull on that silver thing there in order to get it out. See, I wish that if you did that, then it would automatically comes out. So you have to pull it out yourself. Then you gotta pull out the silver part. They could have just added some simple mechanism, like with the Megatron one. But I guess we're already asking too much because there's already a bunch of other stuff here. All those other characters. They gotta save money somehow. But then again, Megatron did have a throne and a whole bunch of accessories. So yeah, they could have made the gun a little bit better. I mean, no complaints right now. It's actually pretty good, but yeah, they could have added those little touches. Because I remember Optimus Prime, his gun also does something like that. Where if you extend one thing, another thing also extracts or comes out or pops up. So now we're doing Laserbeak, and his neck was actually an issue. I had a hard time with the neck. Trying to assemble the neck to the body. It was really difficult. Because on the manual it's difficult to see how you're supposed to place them. See this part here, I'm not sure it's supposed to be this side up or the other side up, but that's the correct side up. Just for reference, I had it correctly, I just didn't place it correctly. As you can see here, I'm trying to go directly inward like that and it doesn't work. You have to do it slightly bent down a bit. The neck has to be slightly bent down, like kind of like that. This one, I think I already made a mistake over here. I flipped it the other way, thinking that was the right way because it wouldn't fit that other way. So then I had to fix it later. And the wings seem simple enough, but yeah, I kept messing up here. Got the wrong wings. Not the same, the correct attachments. And then trying to attach the wings to the body seemed simple enough, but nope. You'll see later. Yeah, you have to push it in there to lock it in. Because it came right off. There you go. I keep having to take this Laserbeak apart like 3 or 4 times during this build. Yeah, it was a bit frustrating, even though it seems simple enough. But you have to be just right. If you mess something up, you gotta redo it. And you see the wings keep falling off. That's so simple. Then it doesn't close on that side, as you can see. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it, but I didn't realize it was the neck. Later I saw that the neck was kind of tilted in there. So I had to take it apart here. Or pry it open. I was trying to fix it, trying to figure out what was causing it. Why didn't it close properly? So now it's the other side that doesn't close. Oh, nope. But back to that side again that doesn't close. So you see, I can see the neck part is a little tilted. So I figured it's gotta be something to do with the neck. That lower part of the neck. See, that's the correct way there. As you can see, it goes in like that. Don't jam it in from the top. It has to be coming in from the sides. Kind of flat right in there. And that works a lot better. Now it fits. And it works. But then I messed up on the wings here. Didn't really pay attention. I placed the wing upside down. So then I had to pry it open again the 3rd time. After I was done, I was like, wait a minute, the wings are on the wrong side. Was it supposed to go that way? I don't know. Yeah, see, here you go. I have to take it apart again. I didn't bother with the prying tool this time. So I'm still not certain if it's supposed to go that way or the other way. I'm guessing it's that way. So I'm looking at the manual. It doesn't look like it's that other way. So I think this is the correct way here. Although in the Megatron one, the wings goes up. There's a Soundwave in the Megatron Action Edition. And Laserbeak is on there as part of his crew. And the wings actually go up. So here now it works. The neck works just fine. And here's a little mini cassette tape of Soundwave, which I always thought it was kind of weird. Soundwave is a huge character, but then when he transforms, he becomes that small, which is weird. Then Soundwave can carry him. Well, not the cassette, but the boombox. When Soundwave becomes the boombox. And You could actually change out that Laserbeak's feet to have the hole in it, so you could put that into the hole there. I actually changed it later on. It's not that difficult. You just pull out the legs and put in the new one. Unlike the Megatron version, we have to take out the whole thing and replace it, then put it back together again. So this was a bit of a struggle here. They're very small pieces, and trying to put two small pieces together, it's very difficult. And I kept placing it in the wrong way. I had to go back and remove it and turn it around. Yeah, it took me a while. It's like 3 hours later. See, it came right off. I struggle with that. Gotta admit, it looks pretty cool though. Ravage looks really nice. Look at that head sculpt. Amazing. Looks good. And also his body also looks pretty cool. It looks like Ravage. And his body actually has some good articulation. Could move his body, twist his body around, move his legs outward, inward, up and down, left and right. Same thing with his neck, and his tail can go up and down. So Ravage is a really good quality build there. I mean, honestly, all 4 of these are very well made, so they weren't like just thrown in there. They actually took the time to build out these models and give it some detail and some movements. Make it be able to move the joints and whatnot. They're not like static characters where it's like one piece and that's it. These are actually actual pieces that are like one of the Blokees characters that you can buy. But just with less parts, kind of like the Defender edition. The Defender ones are kind of small and they don't have that many pieces. Although the Defenders actually have more pieces than these in the cassette. It's just a shame that you couldn't actually turn them into cassettes and put them into Soundwave's chest. Would have looked really cool. but they are capable of kind of turning into a cassette tape. As you can see from the legs, you can bend them and store them away, kind of like the actual ones where you could transform them and turn them into cassette tapes. So they do have those, it's possible. They made it so that it's a little bit possible, but not 100%. Yeah, I don't remember Ravage ever shooting the rockets out of his thigh there, out of his leg. So it's been there, but he never used it. I don't think. I don't remember. Don't remember. I think they just put them there to make it look cool for the kids. Look at that. Looks awesome. Got nice sculpted head, nice body, nice legs. Has a lot of movements that you can make. The only thing is that you can't bend the legs back. The silver part, the black part you can, but the black part, I mean the silver part you can't. They're kind of stuck there. You can bend them forward, but not back. And I'm kind of messing with this a little bit too much. Starting to look a little funky. Beautiful, please. I love this. Usually I don't like the stuff that comes with the main piece, but these are really cool. Soundwave has some really cool stuff. Cool cassettes that transforms into all these characters. That was the charm of the original television series. He's got all these other characters coming out of his chest. And these little booster packs here, you could probably glue them in if you want, because they keep falling off. I mean, it's not like anything major, but Yes, I was trying to assemble it. It kept falling off. It's like you hit it and it falls right off. You can see it has some really nice detailing. They didn't have to do it, but they did it. Which kind of shows you their quality. How much they actually care about these characters and about us who buy them. Yeah, when you see little details like this, it kind of tells you that they're serious about what they're doing. They're not playing around here. They're trying to give us the best stuff, the highest quality. And it looks exactly like the cartoon or the original cassette Ratbat, the toy line. As you can see here, it came off a little bit, the booster. Now this one gave me the most trouble. The little pieces there, 2 little pieces, especially this one here on the left. See that? It's so small. I had a hard time assembling it, and then I assembled it incorrectly and had to redo it. I think I had it upside down or something. Yeah, that was a struggle there. So don't assemble it that way. I did it incorrectly. As you can see here, when I try to put them together, it wouldn't go in. Oh wait, I think I'd edit that out. But look at the fangs. It's upside down. See that? So now I have to take it apart again. Turn it right side up. It's kind of a pain since it's so small. See, I didn't have much trouble building Soundwave, but I have a lot of trouble building these. Building Laserbeak, Ravage, and Ratbat. Rumble I didn't have any issues with at all, so he was pretty easy. looks cool. Nice detailing, nice sculpture. Kind of like with the Ravage. The head has some nice detailing and sculpturing. I was worried I might break it because it's so small. And the boosters came off again. Yep, looks just like the one in the original toy model. Very high quality. Okay, on to Rumble. And as I recall, there's supposed to be two of these. There's supposed to be Rumble, and I don't remember what the other one was. What was his name? Rumble and maybe Quake or something like that. But we only got one, which is fine. We don't need two. See, this one was a lot simpler. I didn't have any issues. See, I don't have to assemble the joints or anything. It's very simple, basic. I think Rumble probably has the least amount of detailing out of the other ones, but it still looks pretty good. I mean, in the original cartoon and toy line, there wasn't much detailing to begin with. I don't believe the hand can really grab anything. I haven't tried putting another weapon on his hand. Maybe I'll try later. It looks like you can maybe actually fit a weapon from another character into his hand. Maybe. Got a little confused here. And we are close to the end here. Yeah, already forgotten how to. I just finished one and I already forgotten. Simple enough. And we are done with Rumble. Now we just need his accessories. Oh, you know what? I think that rocket launcher in its back, you could probably put him in his fist. Use that as a weapon. That might work. I don't know. Now this piece here, make sure you assemble it correctly, because there's a little notch on one side, and that could only go in one way, and I placed it incorrectly, so it didn't quite close properly. See here, I'm gonna place it incorrectly. It's supposed to be going the other way. See this part here, I have to take it apart. You can see there's a little bit of a notch down there, so it can move up and down. Yeah, when I tried to assemble it, it wouldn't close because of that. See that extra piece that comes out on the side? This time I got it correctly, as you can see here. I had to do it on the other side. It's easier on this side. So his hands, just his arm and his hand just goes right in. You don't have to remove it, which is neat. I don't remember if the original one was like this, the original toy. I'm guessing it is like this, because I remember there was a latch that opens up like that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the original toy, but I remember seeing it as a toy. I think a friend of mine had it, had Soundwave and these characters. There you go. Rumble. Pretty neat. And I also wanted to show you the drill part, that drill attachment for the hand. I mean, technically you could probably store them inside that thing so it doesn't get lost. I mean, if you're not using the rumble, that hammer thing. Now these things are pretty sharp, so you gotta be careful, especially once you place it into the arm here. it's very difficult taking it out without hurting your fingers because it's sharp and there's no other place to grab it. Yeah, I really struggled trying to remove it because it's so sharp. So remember that if you got sensitive fingers, removing that drill is going to be a bit of a pain. Here's the base, very similar to the one from Optimus and Megatron ones. It's pretty much the same stuff. And I actually don't use these at all. I mean, I use the platform, but I don't use the actual grip or stand. What do we call those? The holders, I guess. Yeah, I don't use them to hold the pieces. I just use the base and put the magnet on the bottom of the base. That's pretty much it. So I have all of these in storage. I actually have a box of just bases and whatnot. And also Megatron's throne is also in that box. I don't really use his throne, it's way too big. I'm kind of running out of space, to be honest. Been building all this stuff for a year. I'm seriously running out of space. I don't know what I'm gonna do this next year coming up. I might have to like build it and then give it away or something. I don't know. Maybe if I get more subscribers, I might do something with the Patreon and maybe give these model builds for free to the Patreon members. Maybe I'll have a raffle for Patreon members or something like that, and I'll just give it away for free once I finish building them. But of course, if I really like them, I'll probably keep them. Like these Action Edition models, I really love them. I wouldn't give them away. Yeah, so Laserbeak would go in there, the bottom of it. I didn't want to bother. Yes, I build another one of these, and if it comes with a base, I probably won't show the base again. It's already, I've shown it like 3 times already. How to build these bases and how to place them. Might just skip it next time. I mean, the video is already pretty long. Here's Laserbeak in the cassette form. You can place in his chest. Now once it's in there, it actually kind of moves around a little bit, so it's not like secured in there. It kind of rattles a bit, rattles around in there. So just be aware of that. Maybe I have to like really push it in, because I didn't really push it up against his chest or anything. I just placed it in there. Yeah, I didn't really know which way this was supposed to go in, but it seemed to work the way I did it. Just guessed, and it worked. And here it wouldn't go in, so because it was upside down. Gotta turn it right side up. There you go. I get it eventually. Nice design. See a lot of details even in the back. They didn't have to do that because you're not gonna see it once it's inside. Here I just placed it in there. I didn't press it really hard. And it kind of rattles around a little bit. I guess if I pressed it harder, it would have secured. I don't think I did the sound for this. I remember doing the recording the sound. When I put the magnet to his chest, you can hear the sound, but I think I edit them out. I don't remember now. So you can stow these weapons in his back. But it just doesn't look like Soundwave without that rocket launcher. So I eventually put it back. Okay, here's the magnet. The sound's a little off. Okay, I hope you heard that. It's a little difficult to hear what he was saying. think the first one was I am yours to command. The second one was something about destruction. And the third one was to eject the Laserbeak and all those other characters. Yeah, I actually filmed that twice because the first time I don't think the sound was clear enough. I did it the second time just in case. And it sounded better the second time. It's a really nice piece, so I highly recommend it. If you love Transformers and you love Soundwave, this is a great character to have here, the Blokees Action Edition. And all those little other characters too, they're awesome. Great to have. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, and see you next time. Bye bye.